It has been the biggest privatization auction in Ukraine in 8 years. Last July, the State Property Fund sold four-star hotel Dnipro in the very heart of Kyiv for an unprecedented 1.1 billion hryvnias, an amount 13 times higher than the initial price. The authorities rushed to hail it a good deal and a successful example of the new large-scale privatization program. Money-wise, the sale looked good. The hotel earned peanuts while it was owned by the state, around 10,000 hryvnias monthly. It also was close to 5 million hryvnias in debt. Despite the deal being commercially successful, it proved to be controversial for two reasons. The buyer is shady, and his plans for the iconic building in central Kyiv are unclear. The first red flag was the secrecy that surrounded the winner. Almost 30 mostly well-known potential buyers competed for the building, including the second richest man in the country, Viktor Pinchuk, and the eighth richest, Vadim Novinsky. But an unknown shell company, Smartland, claimed the victory. The second red flag was the price tag. Most of the bidders were ready to pay up to 5 times the initial amount for the hotel, but Smartland offered 13 times as much. But who would want to buy the Dnipro Hotel so badly as to outbid the country's richest oligarchs? One suspicion is Russian oligarchs. The lack of transparency fueled rumors that Russian money is involved, but Russian citizens are banned from participating in privatization of Ukraine's state assets. To stop the speculation, Ukrainian esports businessman Alexander Kokhanovskyy soon came forward as the real buyer of the Dnipro Hotel. He said that the winning company, Smartland, was one among many investors who chipped in with him to buy the building. Who are the other investors? Kokhanovskyy didn't say. Journalists pointed at Alisher Usmanov, a Russian oligarch close to the Kremlin and Russian President Vladimir Putin, as a likely investor in Kokhanovskyy acquisition. The two have had business ties. Back in 2015, Usmanov invested $100 million into Virtus.pro, a company belonging to Russian esports businessman Anton Cherepennikov. The same year, Virtus.pro merged with Kokhanovskyy's Navi business to become the esports company. Later in 2018, it was acquired by Mail.ru Group, one of the shareholders of which is Usmanov. Kokhanovskyy reportedly left the company right before the deal. Speaking to the Kyiv Post, Kokhanovskyy denied any involvement of Russian money and said he was lucky to find business partners within Ukraine. However, there is yet another reason to question whether Kokhanovskyy is being straight. Shortly after the purchase, he said to the Kyiv Post he would turn the Dnipro Hotel into an esport venue. He bought the Dnipro Hotel the next day after gambling had been legalized in Ukraine on July 14. When asked whether he had plans to open a casino there, he said he had no interest in it. But plans changed. In April, the news broke that the new proprietor had applied for a casino license for the Dnipro Hotel. Despite transparency issues, the case demonstrated that privatization can be instrumental in supplementing the state budget while also helping get rid of mismanaged state properties, breeding corruption. Ukraine launched a fresh privatization effort in 2018 with new, transparent rules to get rid of the state's non-essential assets, meaning no strategic or important enterprises could be put on sale. Privatization objects can be a prison, a factory, or an apartment building, almost anything that is currently owned by the state. Not anyone is allowed to buy. Companies owned by state officials or Russian citizens can't participate. Offshore firms are also not allowed. Privatization is divided into two main categories: small and large scale. The so-called small privatization refers to assets priced up to 250 million hryvnias. Initially, the Dnipro Hotel was in this category because its starting price was just 80 million hryvnias. Everything that exceeds 2,050 million hryvnias falls into the category of large-scale privatization. Both were launched in 2018. Small privatization was quite successful, unlike the large-scale one that didn't work well at the outset. No single lot was sold that year. It got better with time. Last year, large-scale privatization brought 2.5 billion hryvnias to the state budget, 4.5 times more than in 2019 and 8 times more than in 2018. In 2021, the authorities plan to earn 4 times as much as the year before. The upcoming auctions are in late October, involving the first Kyiv machine building plant and joint mining and chemical company. Altogether, the government plans to sell 12 lots from the large-scale privatization list by the end of the year. However, given the current sluggish pace of the privatization, it seems overly optimistic.